Hey Blue, this is Chris. Here's a tutorial on a few things in the Unity UI now that we're using that instead of the uh, rolling our own. The process is a bit different and there's some hidden around stuff in Unity that might not have seen before, wouldn't have seen before. So first of all, this is in the AIW2 modding and GUI project. This is something that players can do as well. This is all open source, open image, everything. So really this applies to more than just Blue. Um, the first thing to do is if you want, you can make your own test scene, it's fine. There's an existing one under UI examples. Now I'm going to talk about how to actually adjust the existing text examples or element examples versus creating something from scratch or wiring it up in this particular video. When I come in here, first of all, you'll notice I'm in the game tab here and I can't click anything, but I can see how it's going to look. And if I switch into the scene view, who knows where this is going to be looking. This might be looking, off to nothing. So you can come under canvas here and then you can either drag and drop items in if you want. So like I see game, there's nothing there. I can drag the prefab for basic dropdown prefab, which is under Arkin UI dropdowns. If I'm going too fast, you're going to have to pause the video or rewind it. Drag that in. That put it underneath the image button, which I definitely don't want. I'm going to try that again. Drag this under, just put canvas there. Okay, so now I've got this thing here. Normally this wouldn't look like this, but I've got it so that it has the drop down portion open. So in the middle of setting this up and thought, hey, this would be nice to make a little video of. So, oh, I can't see anything when I click to the scene view. Double click on this. You can actually hit F too to focus on it. At this point, this is still not helpful. I've got it selected, but what you can do is hold down the right mouse button, then hold Shift and use WSAD and then also Q and E to go up and around. But wait a second, this is backwards. Well, I'm on the back of the canvas. So just come around here, and now I can see and manipulate things as much as I want to. Okay, so at this point here, I've got my basic drop down. I've set up a bunch of the stuff. What I'm intending to set up right now is the scroll bar. And so when I click into this, you'll start seeing, okay, this is the actual scroll bar here. Well, I can't hide it because I can do this though. It's got a sliding area and a handle area. Let's hide the sliding area, and then now I can hide the image. So basically, there's an area that's filled based on how much scroll bar area there is, and then there's the background. And I couldn't hide the background in a meaningful way because it was filled. So all these little lines here, by the way, these little yellow lines, those are indicating the order in which keyboard control will move between the elements. It's not really something that you need to worry about in here. You can uncheck visualize and that goes away, but it really doesn't matter for the moment. So with this here, I've got, I don't want this bright white, it doesn't fit with our GUI. I don't want this bright white scroll bar. So I've got a scroll bars section here under Arkin UI scroll bars that I've created. Now, these are texture type default. I can't use these in the GUI in a way that is meaningful. I'm going to go ahead and select all of them just so I can edit them all at once. Go from default to sprite, 2D and UI. Simple enough. Sprite mode single, there's only the one. Yep. I'm going to go to compression none, which means you won't get weird artifacting. And then it should have already selected sRGB color texture. That's checked as yes. It means it's not in linear color space. Therefore, it will apply gamma corrections to it, which we want. And then import texture alpha. Yep, alpha is transparency. Yep, non-power of 2, don't worry about it, because it's going to atlas those, so we don't care. We don't need to worry about bitmaps. Wrap mode could be clamp, could be repeat. It really depends on what you're going to want to do with the thing, but almost always you're going to want to clamp. All right, seems like we're done, but we're not quite. We're going to go ahead and to show why we're not done, going to go ahead. This is meant to be the background here, so I'm just going to drag this in here, and boom. We're done, but not quite. This is using image type simple, and you can see it's just smeared this image around. That's not good. What we want is I believe it's sliced. Ooh, it doesn't have a border. What the heck does that even mean? Well, when you come in here to an individual image, you can't do it from multiple images at once. You will see that there's a sprite editor. Click that. This now lets you select how many pixels are outside the border on each side. And you can do this manually as well. So I will, or not manually, via text here. So I will. And so 2 pixel border on each side. Hooray. Okay, now that happened. I'm gonna go ahead and, well, we'll worry about that later. That's interesting. Still a little smeared there at the top. So let's, at the top and the bottom, let's say 3 pixels. There we go. That's looking better. So when we look in the game view, this is what we see. You can also come in here to the scroll bar and you can say you want it tiled, blah. You can say you want it filled, which is, again, blah. So you're definitely going to want that to be, sliced. And this is like those 9-part sprites things that we used to define all the time. But you get to do the defining this time. Alrighty, so that's our scroll bar background. Here's our sliding area that shows how much of it is filled. Blah. All right, so now we'll drag in the vertical one here. All right, now that's a real mess. And so we're going to want to say, I think we're going to want to say that this is certainly not tiled. You can get some different, look at that. That's not what I want to do. Vertical filled. Yeah, you can do some interesting things with the filled types. That's not what we care about right now. So either I'm just got a bad image here and don't want to use it, or we need to do sliced. So we'll check this out. Let's see here. We'll say something like 3, 3, 3, 3. I don't even know what this. That looks better. That looks better because it gives us the smoothness near the edges, which is the idea. We actually probably want the top of the bottom 4, though. We've then got a, actually we want the top and the bottom to be 5. So what we want is for this to stretch, and then these are the bottom corners, and this is the bottom. And actually we want the sides to be 4 because we want corner, corner, bottom stretch, top, side stretch, top stretch. All right, so now we do this, much better. Okay, so now when we look at this, this is how it looks. Now, that's not really in our color scheme. I just pulled this from Skyward Starward Rogue. So we can take a vertical thumb here and can just adjust it like that a little bit. And then boom, it's right back in. And that's not terrible. It automatically updates things, which is really, really nice. Get some weirdness in there. You can see with each change that it updates. So now this looks a lot more like the game. Incidentally, I've got a horizontal version of this as well. So I'll just copy this in here and do a quick transform, rotate 90 degrees. Bing, boom, and there we go. And these things keep their settings. So, as I come in here, the sprite settings remain. At this point, this is the little template thing. And so I can come in here and hit hide and then apply. And now we've got our drop down the way that it should look. And I can actually hit Arkin, save all assets, and then build Windows Asset Bundle. Go ahead and show more than what I was planning. Why not? So it builds the Windows one. Now we come over here to the actual game scene. We run it. And let's see what this looks like. So hit Start New Game. There's a drop down there. Here we go, Map Type Clusters. Can click this. Okay, the drop down looks good. You can see which item is selected, which is also useful. However, can't see any of the text because it is using there's a bug that I have to fix. I was partway in on it. The amount of scrolling this thing takes to get anywhere is pretty awful as well. I could probably fix the little scrolling thing straight away in here. Probably with, I'll have to look at that, but like the number of steps and stuff like that. But anyhow, yeah, that is the way to set up these scroll bars and other images. The Sprite Editor is our friend, and these things get automatically atlased when they're put into the asset bundle. For anybody who is watching along and they want to then go and look in the asset bundle and find out where is that atlas, you will find that per Unity's specs, the atlas is in there, but it is not registered in the list of assets in the asset bundle, so you will not see the atlas. However, you can verify that the stuff is atlas by, if you're in code, getting a reference excuse me, to the texture object of the sprite, and you'll notice that a number of the sprites share the same texture atlas. Who knows which sprites? We don't really care. Unity takes care of that for us, and because everything gets pretty much cached in the draw calls anyway, and the UI happens in one draw call, we just don't care. So when it comes to skinning the Unity UI elements, that's how to do it. Thanks for watching.